Hey Taurus, welcome back. I need to share something with you today that honestly gave me chills when these cards started showing up. You know how sometimes the universe has this way of revealing the truth that people tried so hard to bury? Yeah, that is exactly what is happening in your situation right now. So I was sitting with my deck this morning thinking about you Taurus folks, and the energy that came through was so intense that I had to actually take a pause. Because what I am seeing here is not just about someone talking behind your back or spreading rumors. No, this goes deeper than that. This is about someone who actively tried to damage your reputation, who went out of their way to paint you in the worst possible light to specific people. But here is the twist that the cards are showing me. And honestly, this is where it gets really interesting. The person they tried to defame you to, that person already knows who you truly are. They see right through the lies. Let me pull some cards and walk you through what is unfolding in your energy right now, because Taurus, the truth is coming out in ways that your detractor never saw coming. The first card that came out is the Two of Swords, and when I saw this, I immediately understood what has been happening behind the scenes. This card is showing me someone who has been sitting in a state of denial, someone who refused to see the truth about a situation. And I am getting that this is not you, Taurus. This is the person who received all those lies and accusations about you. Think about it like this. Someone came to them with stories, with complaints, with a whole narrative designed to make you look bad. Maybe they said you were difficult to work with, or that you were unstable, or that you had done something unforgivable. The details do not matter as much as the intention behind it, and that intention was purely to destroy your credibility in this person's eyes. But here is what the Two of Swords is really telling me. This person they approached, they did not just automatically believe everything they heard. There was this moment of pause, this moment of, I need to think about this for myself. You see, the Two of Swords represents that crossroads of decision, that point where someone has to choose between two competing narratives. On one side, they have got this person insisting that you are terrible, problematic, whatever negative label they are trying to stick on you. On the other side, they have got their own observations, their own experiences, maybe even their own intuition telling them something different. What I am seeing here is that this person went into a period of internal reflection. They blindfolded themselves, metaphorically speaking, meaning they tried to block out the noise and the manipulation and really feel into what the truth was. And Taurus, during that time of reflection, they started remembering things. Little interactions they had with you, moments where your character showed through, times when your actions did not match up with the horrible picture being painted. The Two of Swords is about reaching a decision through careful consideration, and the decision they are reaching is not the one your detractor wanted. I am also getting with this card that there might have been some stalling, some time where this person did not immediately jump to your defense because they were processing everything. And maybe that hurt, Taurus. Maybe you wondered why someone who knew you did not speak up right away. But what the cards are showing me is that their silence was not agreement. It was deliberation. They were gathering their own evidence, watching how things played out, and coming to their own conclusions based on facts rather than emotions or manipulation. The energy here is also showing me that the person who tried to defame you thought this Two of Swords energy would work in their favor. They thought if they could just get this person to sit in confusion long enough to doubt you enough, that eventually they would side with them by default. But that is not what happened. The stillness of the Two of Swords actually gave this person the space to see through the manipulation. Now, the second card that showed up is the Five of Pentacles. And this one is so telling about what your detractor was trying to do. The Five of Pentacles is the card of exclusion, of being left out in the cold, of feeling like you do not have support or resources. And I am getting very clearly that this was the exact outcome your detractor wanted for you. They wanted you isolated. They wanted you to feel like you had lost something valuable, whether that was a professional connection, a social circle, an opportunity, or just someone's good opinion of you. Think about what the Five of Pentacles represents. It shows two figures outside in the snow, looking through a window at the warmth and light inside, feeling completely shut out. Your detractor wanted you to be those figures. They wanted you standing on the outside looking in, knowing that they had successfully turned someone against you, knowing that doors were now closed to you because of their words. That was the picture they were trying to create. But here is where it gets really interesting, Taurus. The Five of Pentacles has another layer to it that I think your detractor did not consider. This card also represents someone who feels entitled to help, who feels like they deserve support but are not getting it. And I am actually getting that this describes your detractor more than it describes you. See, I think they went to this person expecting automatic support for their narrative. They thought that by positioning themselves as the victim or the whistleblower or the concerned party, this person would immediately rally to their side and help them exclude you from whatever circle or opportunity we are talking about here. But that is not what happened. Instead, I am seeing that your detractor is the one who ended up feeling left out in the cold. When they did not get the validation they expected, when this person did not immediately turn against you, they started feeling that Five of Pentacles energy themselves. They are the ones wondering why their efforts did not work. They are the ones feeling like they do not have the support they thought they deserved. The Five of Pentacles is also showing me something about resources and what people value. Your detractor tried to make it seem like you were the one lacking in value, lacking in trustworthiness, lacking in whatever qualities they thought would matter to this person. But the truth that is coming out is actually revealing the opposite. The person they spoke to is starting to see who is really lacking here. And it is not you. They are seeing the poverty of character in someone who would go to such lengths to damage another person's reputation. I am also getting with this card that there might be a financial or material component to this situation. Maybe your detractor was trying to exclude you from a business opportunity, or trying to damage your professional reputation so you would lose out on income or advancement. The Five of Pentacles is very much about material concerns, so I am sensing that there were tangible stakes here beyond just social dynamics. The third card is the Hanged Man, and okay, this is where the story gets really deep. The Hanged Man is all about seeing things from a completely different perspective, about that moment of suspension where everything you thought you knew gets flipped upside down. And I am getting that this is exactly what happened to the person your detractor approached. See, they came in with their narrative, their version of events, their carefully constructed story about why you were the problem, and at first, maybe there was some consideration of their perspective. But then something happened. The Hanged Man energy kicked in, and suddenly this person started seeing the entire situation from an entirely different angle. It is like they were hanging upside down, and suddenly all the blood rushed to their head, and they had this moment of clarity that they could not ignore. What I am seeing is that this person started asking themselves deeper questions. Instead of just accepting the surface story, they started wondering about motivations. Why is this person really here telling me this? What do they have to gain from me believing them? Why are they so invested in making sure I think badly of this Taurus? And once those questions started forming, the whole narrative began to unravel. The Hanged Man is also about sacrifice and what people are willing to give up for truth. I am getting that this person had to sacrifice their comfort, had to sacrifice the easy path of just going along with what they were being told. It would have been simpler to just nod and agree and avoid conflict, but they chose the harder path of actually suspending their judgment and looking at things from multiple angles, and that choice is what led them to see the truth. There is also this element with the Hanged Man of voluntary surrender versus forced suspension. Your detractor wanted to force this person into a position where they had no choice but to see you negatively. But what actually happened is that this person voluntarily chose to suspend their immediate reaction and really investigate the truth. That voluntary choice makes all the difference because it means they are coming to their conclusions through their own wisdom rather than through manipulation. I am also seeing with this card that there has been a waiting period, a time of suspension where nothing seemed to be moving forward or resolving. And maybe during that time, Taurus, you felt frustrated or anxious, wondering if the truth would ever come out. But the Hanged Man is telling me that this waiting period was actually necessary. It was the gestation period for truth. the time needed for this person to fully process everything and reach their own enlightenment about the situation. The fourth card that appeared is the Emperor, and wow, this is powerful. The Emperor is all about authority, structure, leadership, and making decisions based on facts and logic rather than emotions. And I am getting very strongly that the person your detractor approached is someone with authority or influence in your world. This might be a boss, a mentor, someone in a position of power, or just someone whose opinion carries significant weight. Your detractor did not just randomly choose someone to complain to. They specifically targeted someone with the Emperor energy because they knew that if they could get this person on their side, it would have major consequences for you. If someone with authority believes you are problematic, that belief can affect your opportunities, your reputation, your standing in whatever community or organization we are talking about here. But here is what your detractor did not count on. A true emperor does not make decisions based on hearsay or emotional manipulation. A real emperor gathers facts, considers evidence, and makes judgments based on observable reality rather than someone else's emotional narrative. And that is exactly what is happening here. This person with authority is using their emperor energy properly, not allowing themselves to be swayed by manipulation tactics. The Emperor is also showing me that this person has their own set of values and principles that they are not willing to compromise. They have built their authority on being fair, on being discerning, on making good judgments. And to maintain that authority, they cannot just blindly believe accusations without verification. Their reputation as a leader depends on them being someone who sees through manipulation and makes decisions based on truth. I am also getting that the Emperor energy is bringing structure and order to a situation that your detractor tried to make chaotic. They tried to create drama, confusion, emotional turmoil, but the Emperor does not operate in chaos. The Emperor brings everything into a structured framework where facts can be examined, where patterns can be identified, where truth becomes clear through systematic observation. What I am also seeing with this card is that this authoritative person is not just passively seeing through the lies. They are actively taking a leadership role in correcting the narrative. The Emperor does not just sit back and let injustice happen. When they see that someone has been wronged, when they see that manipulation is at play, they step in with their authority to set things right. And I am getting that this is what is happening in your situation, Taurus. This person is preparing to use their influence to make sure the truth is known. The fifth card is the Ten of Wands, and this card is showing me the burden that your detractor has been carrying. See, the Ten of Wands is about being weighed down by responsibilities, about carrying too much, about struggling under the weight of your own choices. And I am seeing that your detractor has been carrying this enormous burden of maintaining their lies, of keeping their story straight, of trying to control a narrative that is constantly threatening to fall apart. Think about how much energy it takes to defame someone. You have to remember what you said to whom. You have to keep track of your lies so they do not contradict each other. You have to constantly monitor the situation to make sure the truth is not coming out. You have to invest emotional energy into maintaining your victim status or your righteous indignation or whatever role you are playing. It is exhausting, and the Ten of Wands is showing me that your detractor is absolutely exhausted from carrying all of this. What I am also getting is that this burden has become visible. When you are carrying 10 wands, people can see that you are struggling, that you are weighed down by something. And I think the person your detractor approached is starting to notice this. They are seeing the effort it is taking for this person to maintain their narrative. They are seeing the desperation, the need to keep reinforcing their version of events. And that visibility of struggle is actually undermining their credibility. The Ten of Wands also shows me that your detractor took on more than they could handle. They thought they could control the situation, thought they could manage the outcome, thought they could successfully destroy your reputation without consequences. But they underestimated how much work it would take, and they underestimated the intelligence and discernment of the person they were trying to manipulate. There is also this element of self-imposed burden with the Ten of Wands. Nobody forced your detractor to carry all of this negativity. They chose it. They picked up these wands one by one, building this case against you, collecting grievances, real or imagined, nursing their resentment or jealousy or whatever is driving them. And now they are stuck with this massive burden that they cannot put down without admitting that they were wrong. I am seeing that this Ten of Wands energy is going to reach a breaking point. You can only carry so much for so long before something has to give. And when that breaking point comes, when your detractor can no longer maintain the facade, the truth is going to spill out in ways they cannot control. All those wands they have been clutching so tightly are going to scatter, and everyone is going to see exactly what they were really carrying all along. The sixth card that showed up is Temperance. And this is such a beautiful card to see in this context. Temperance is all about balance, harmony, divine timing, and the mixing of different elements to create something true and pure. And I am getting that this represents the energy of how the truth is emerging in your situation. See, your detractor tried to create an imbalanced picture of you. They took tiny grains of truth, mixed them with massive amounts of exaggeration and lies, and tried to serve up this toxic cocktail as if it were reality. But Temperance is showing me that the person they spoke to has the gift of discernment. They can taste when something is off. They can sense when the mixture is wrong, when the proportions do not match reality. Temperance is also about patience and waiting for the right moment. I am getting that the truth has not come out all at once in a dramatic explosion. Instead, it has been emerging gradually, like a careful alchemical process. Each conversation, each observation, each moment of reflection has added another drop of truth to the mixture. And now the solution is becoming clear, the real picture is crystallizing, and there is no way to unsee what has been revealed. The angel in the Temperance card has 1 foot on land and 1 foot in water, representing the ability to navigate both the material world and the emotional or spiritual realm. And I am seeing that this person your detractor approached has this same ability. They are not just looking at the surface facts. They are also tuning into the energy, the intentions, the emotional truth underneath the words. And what they are sensing energetically does not match what they were told intellectually, and that discord is what tipped them off. Temperance is also showing me that there is a healing process happening here, not just for you, Taurus, though that is certainly part of it, but also for this person who was put in the position of being manipulated. They are healing their own ability to trust their judgment. They are learning to balance what they hear with what they observe, what others say with what they feel, external input with internal wisdom, and that healing is going to serve them well beyond this situation. I am also getting that the divine timing represented by Temperance means that everything is unfolding exactly when it needs to. Your detractor might have been in a hurry to destroy your reputation quickly, before you had a chance to defend yourself, or before the truth could come out. But the universe does not work on their timeline. The truth is emerging in its own perfect timing, when all the elements are properly aligned for it to be received and understood. The seventh card is the Magician, and this is where things get really interesting because the Magician is about manifestation, about having all the tools and resources you need, about the power to create your reality through will and skill. And I am getting two very distinct messages with this card. First, I am seeing that you, Taurus, have been manifesting your own truth even while someone was trying to bury it. The Magician has access to all four suits, all four elements, meaning they have everything they need to work with. And you have been unconsciously or consciously using your own magic to make sure the truth stays alive. Maybe that has looked like continuing to be yourself, continuing to show up with integrity, continuing to do good work, or be a good person even when you knew someone was talking badly about you. Every authentic action you have taken has been a form of magic, a way of manifesting evidence of who you truly are. But I am also getting a second layer to this card, and it is about your detractor thinking they were the magician. They thought they had all the tools to manipulate this situation. They thought they could use their words, their charm, their ability to spin a narrative to create a new reality where you were the villain. They saw themselves as the one with the power, the one who could manifest their desired outcome through sheer force of will and manipulation. The thing about the magician, though, is that this card can represent both true magic and trickery, both genuine manifestation and illusion. And what is being revealed now is which type of magician each of you has been. You have been using true magic, the kind that is aligned with truth and integrity. Your detractor has been using tricks, illusions, manipulation, and the difference between those two approaches is becoming impossible to ignore. The magician also represents communication and the power of words. Your detractor tried to use words as weapons, crafting their story carefully to do maximum damage. But the magician energy is showing me that words have a way of revealing truth even when that is not the intention. The person listening has been paying attention not just to what was said, but how it was said, what was emphasized, what was glossed over, where the energy was in the communication. And those subtle cues have told them more than the actual words did. I am also seeing with this card that you have resources and allies that you might not even be fully aware of yet. The magician is about having access to everything you need, and I am getting that the universe has been positioning things in your favor even while this defamation was happening. The right people have been watching, the right circumstances have been unfolding. Everything you need to clear your name and restore your reputation is already on your table, already within reach. The 8th card is the King of Swords, and okay, Taurus, this is the confirmation card. The King of Swords is the ultimate truth seeker, the person who cuts through deception with the sharp blade of logic and observation. This card represents someone who values honesty above all else, who makes decisions based on facts rather than feelings, who can see through manipulation because they understand how manipulation works. I am getting very strongly that this is the energy of the person your detractor approached. This is not someone who can be easily fooled. The King of Swords has seen too much, understands human nature too well, has honed their discernment over years of experience. When your detractor came to them with their carefully crafted story, they were essentially trying to manipulate a master of seeing through manipulation. And that was never going to work out the way they hoped. The King of Swords is showing me that this person has been conducting their own investigation quietly and methodically. They have not announced what they are doing. They have not confronted your detractor directly yet, but they have been watching, listening, gathering their own data points. Every interaction has given them more information. Every inconsistency in your detractor's story has been noted. Every time your actions contradicted the narrative they were told, that evidence has been filed away. What I love about the King of Swords in this position is that this energy is not about emotional vindication. This person is not defending you because they like you or because they are emotionally invested in you being right. They are defending truth because that is what the King of Swords does. Their loyalty is to reality, not to any particular person. And that makes their support even more powerful because it cannot be dismissed as favoritism or bias. The King of Swords is also showing me that when this person does speak up, when they do share their conclusions, their words are going to carry tremendous weight because they are known as someone who does not exaggerate, who does not take sides based on emotion, who only speaks when they are certain of their facts. So when they say that your detractor was lying, when they say that you have been misrepresented, people are going to listen. Their authority in matters of truth is going to override whatever damage your detractor tried to do. I am also seeing that the King of Swords energy is teaching everyone involved a lesson about integrity and honesty. This situation is becoming a case study in what happens when you try to manipulate someone who values truth above all else. The lesson is clear. Honesty always reveals itself eventually, and those who align themselves with truth will always outlast those who rely on deception. The 9th card is Death, and I know that card can sound scary, but this is actually incredibly positive in your situation, Taurus. The Death card is about transformation, about the end of one cycle and the beginning of another, about the complete death of old patterns and the birth of something new. And what is dying here is the false narrative your detractor tried to create about you. See, they tried to kill your reputation, tried to end your relationship with this person or your standing in this community. They wanted the death card to represent the destruction of your credibility. But the universe has a funny way of turning things around. And what is actually dying is their ability to control the narrative. The lies are dying. The manipulation is dying. The false version of events is dying. And there is no resurrection for something that was never alive with truth to begin with. The death card is also about the inevitable nature of endings. Your detractor might try to keep their story alive, might keep trying to convince people, might resist the death of their narrative. But this card is telling me that the end has already been written. There is no stopping this transformation. The truth has reached a tipping point where it cannot be suppressed anymore, and the lies cannot survive in the presence of that truth. What I am also seeing with this card is that this ending is going to be complete. This is not a situation where there will be lingering doubt or ambiguity. When the death card comes through, it clears everything away. It is absolute. So the clearing of your name is going to be thorough, not half-hearted. The revelation of your detractor's true nature is going to be unmistakable, not questionable. The death card also represents rebirth and new beginnings. Once this old narrative dies, there's going to be space for a new understanding to emerge. Your relationship with this person, your reputation, your standing in whatever context we are talking about, all of this gets to be reborn based on truth instead of lies. And that new foundation is going to be so much stronger than what your detractor tried to destroy, because truth always creates a more solid foundation than deception ever could. I am getting that this transformation is happening right now, that we are in the middle of this death and rebirth process. So if things feel uncertain or unstable in your situation, that is why. You are in the transition point where the old is dying, but the new has not fully emerged yet. But the death card is promising you that the new is coming, and it is going to be a reality that reflects the truth of who you are. The final card is the Queen of Pentacles, and this is such a beautiful card to end on. The Queen of Pentacles is nurturing, abundant, grounded, practical, and deeply rooted in reality. And I am getting that this card represents the ultimate outcome of this situation for you, Taurus. See, while your detractor was trying to make you look unreliable or problematic, what is actually being revealed is your Queen of Pentacles nature. You are someone who nurtures others, who creates abundance, who can be trusted with resources and responsibilities. You are practical, grounded, realistic. You do not need to manipulate or deceive because you have real value to offer. You do not need to tear others down because you are secure in your own worth. The Queen of Pentacles is showing me that the person who now sees the truth about you is also seeing these qualities. They are recognizing that you are someone who can be counted on, someone who brings tangible value, someone who builds things up rather than tearing them down. And that recognition is going to open doors for you, is going to restore opportunities, is going to establish your reputation on a foundation of observable evidence rather than someone else's lies. This card is also about generosity and support. I am seeing that not only is this person defending your reputation, they are actually going to become a source of support for you moving forward. The Queen of Pentacles nurtures others, and I am getting that you might receive help, mentorship, opportunities, or resources from this person as a direct result of them seeing through the manipulation and recognizing your true worth. The Queen of Pentacles is also telling me that you are going to come out of this situation more secure and grounded than you went into it. Sometimes when we go through something like this, when someone tries to damage our reputation, we can come out of it feeling shaken or doubting ourselves. But that is not what is happening here. You are emerging as the Queen of Pentacles, more certain of your value, more confident in your integrity, more rooted in the truth of who you are. The attempt to uproot you has actually caused you to grow deeper roots. I am also seeing with this card that material and practical benefits are going to come from this situation. Maybe that looks like career opportunities that open up once your reputation is cleared. Maybe it looks like financial abundance that flows in once the blockage created by this defamation is removed. Maybe it looks like practical support from the person who now sees the truth. Whatever form it takes, the Queen of Pentacles is promising you that you are moving into a time of greater security and abundance. So Taurus, let me bring all of this together for you. Someone tried to destroy your reputation with lies and manipulation. They went to a person of authority or influence and painted you in the worst possible light. They wanted you excluded, isolated, shut out from opportunities or relationships. They thought they had all the tools to manifest their desired outcome. But what they did not count on was the intelligence, discernment, and integrity of the person they approached. That person did not just automatically believe what they were told. They paused, they reflected, they looked at the situation from multiple angles. They used their authority properly, gathering facts rather than making decisions based on hearsay. They saw through the manipulation because they are skilled at recognizing truth. Now, the lies are dying. The narrative your detractor tried to create is falling apart. The burden of maintaining their deception is becoming too heavy for them to carry. And the truth is emerging through divine timing, perfectly balanced and undeniable. You are being recognized for who you truly are, someone with real value, real integrity, real worth. The person who sees the truth is not just going to clear your name, they are going to become a source of support and opportunity for you. Your detractor wanted to be the magician who could manifest your downfall, but you were the true magician all along, creating your reality through authentic action and genuine character. They tried to exclude you with their Five of Pentacles energy, but they are the ones who ended up out in the cold. They wanted death to come for your reputation, but death came for their lies instead. The universe has had your back this entire time, even when you could not see it. Every authentic action you took was evidence of your true character. Every lie your detractor told was adding to the weight they could not carry. Every moment that passed was bringing the truth closer to the surface. And now here we are, with a person of authority seeing exactly who you are and exactly what was done to you. This is not just about clearing your name, although that is happening. This is about establishing your reputation on a foundation so solid that no one will be able to shake it again. This is about being recognized and supported by people who value truth and integrity. This is about moving forward into abundance and security, rooted in the reality of your true worth. So if you were worried, if you were feeling anxious about what this person believed or what damage was done, let those worries go. The King of Swords has done his investigation. The Emperor is preparing to use his authority to correct the record. The Queen of Pentacles is ready to support you with practical help and genuine recognition. Your detractor is buckling under the weight of their own lies, and there is nothing they can do to stop the truth from emerging. Trust the process, Taurus. Trust divine timing. Trust that people who value truth will always eventually see through manipulation. And trust that your authentic character has been creating evidence of who you really are every single day. Evidence that is now being recognized by the people who matter. The truth is coming out, and it is setting you free.